Stop me if you've heard this one. Worlds will live, worlds will die, but imagine if your every fear, each bad decision, gave birth to a malformed world of nightmare. Welcome to the Dark Multiverse, home to stories that should never be.
And that's exactly where we find ourselves, specifically on Earth 52. Here we find Barry Allen, the Flash, in a heated battle with someone he least expected.
As usual, you're already late, Flash. It's time you let someone else have the Speed Force.
In this world, Bruce Wayne, also known as Batman, has spiraled into despair due to a series of devastating events. Now, he wants nothing more than to right every wrong to prevent misfortunes like these from happening. And it all starts with him acquiring the source of the Scarlet Speedster's powers. It's a grueling affair, as old friends find themselves on opposite sides. Still, Barry holds out hope. Still, the Flash runs. Barry Allen still thinks he can convince his friend that they can save the world and their loved ones in other ways.
You're right. You're a good friend, Flash. I could always count on you. And your compassion.
But the Caped Crusader's mind is set and just broken enough to do the unthinkable.
You've just been injected with the cryostasis formula developed by Dr. Victor Fries. It's what he uses to keep his beloved Nora alive. I estimate your increased metabolism should burn it off in 3 seconds, but I won't need them.
And so Batman betrays one of his oldest allies with a single cracking punch. Things only get worse for the Scarlet Speedster when he comes to. Strapping the Flash to the hood of the Batmobile, Batman plans to pump the gas on his signature ride in order to harvest his much-coveted Speed Force. Without hesitation, the Dark Knight puts the pedal to the metal. Bruce does not listen to any of his old friends' pleas, because right now, the Caped Crusader is only concerned with his unending quest to rid the world of scum and villainy, the same promise he had made to his parents all those years ago. In the end, both the Dark Knight and that red streak burn away into the light of the Speed Force, but this will not be the last time we see either of the two men. Sometime later, in Batman's home turf of Gotham City, chaos has spread after all the world's skies have turned blood red. Of course, you can always count on Gotham's nutjobs to take advantage of all this turmoil, as classic Batman villain Jonathan Crane, aka Scarecrow, attempts to terrorize a couple of innocent, panicked civilians. However, a red and gold streak, curiously bearing the all-too-familiar bat symbol, quickly transforms the Scarecrow from a fearmonger to a bisected husk.
My name is Bruce Wayne. I am vengeance. I am justice. I am the Red Death.
Bruce, a near-authoritarian vigilante with godlike powers, quickly puts an end to each of his rogues. Still, in the middle of all this, something bothers him. That's because Barry Allen did not exactly perish when Batman stole his Speed Force. Instead, he now literally lives inside the Red Death's head rent-free. Perhaps due to nobility or naivete, the Flash's disembodied voice still calls for his old friend to listen to reason, something that the Red Death repeatedly ignores.
I have saved Gotham. Now, I will save the world. I finally have all the time I'll ever need.
However, even his newfound speed is not enough to avert the destruction of their world. Bruce first observes that Wayne Tower, his building, has been destroyed. Then, wild, uncontrollable bolts of destructive multiversal energy appeared where the skies were once red.
The world, it's breaking apart. I'm not fast enough to save it.
Then things took a turn for the worse when Bruce starts hearing an all-too-familiar voice, one that Barry tells him to ignore at all costs. However, we all know by now that Earth 52's Dark Knight has already become irredeemable.
Who are you?
Someone very much like you. Someone who lost his world simply because it was born down here. You can feel it yourself, can't you? Your time is meant to end now. But what if I told you there was a world far, far above us that was destined to live?
Tell me more.
Back on Earth Zero, the main DC universe, Iris and Wally West are strolling around Central City. All of a sudden, fire rains down from the sky. When the Red Death arrives, bat-shaped Speed Force constructs knock Wally away before he can even react.
The Flash's family. His love and sidekick.
In response, Iris tries to protect her nephew from the Scarlet threat, only to witness Wally age right before her very eyes. Not even a second passes, and even Iris herself ages at an alarming rate. There's nothing they can do but embrace each other as life gets snuffed out of them.
This world's Flash. He'll understand that in times of crisis there must be a sacrifice.
As you'd expect, Earth Zero's own Scarlet Speedster will not let this travesty stand. The Flash appears in front of the Red Death, and the two get into a lethal foot race.
Once upon a time I was jealous of yours and Clark's little races, but now it doesn't matter.
And it's here that the Flash recognizes who he's dealing with. Still, nothing comes of it, and the Scarlet Speedster experiences the same thing that Wally and Iris had gone through moments ago. Victorious, the Red Death stands over Central City's champion with some words of his own.
There will be no more racing, Barry.
The Red Death, fully aware that he has arrived as a conqueror, lifts his fist to deliver the final blow to the Scarlet Speedster. Curiously enough, no matter which corner of the multiverse we find ourselves in, one thing remains constant. Barry Allen is a hero who has hope. The Red Death can only pause when he hears the same words that he told his world's Barry Allen before he stole his Speed Force.
What?
It's just enough of a distraction to give the Master Mystic, Dr. Fate, enough time to whisk Barry away from peril. With his quarry gone, the Red Death only has one message for the Flash.
Go ahead. Run, Barry. Run. It won't save you. We'll fight again, Flash. Barbados foretold the end of our story. I will turn Central City into the home I lost and save my Gotham!
As the skies above Earth Zero curdle the same way they did on Earth 52, the corrupted version of the Caped Crusader, known only as the Batman Who Laughs, rejoices at his cohort's impending victory.
Let me tell you a secret. All it takes is one bad day. One moment that would never happen, and the ground beneath you starts to crumble. Trust me, I know firsthand. All of us do. And now the 7 most dangerous Batmen that never were are here to drag you into the dark. So yeah, one bad day will kill a world. But one bad week? That could kill a multiverse!
That's it for now. If you enjoyed this dark Batman tale, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe with the bell on so you don't miss what's next. And hey, why not check out the next video while you're here? See you all next time.